Hey, YouTube. Good morning. Happy Monday morning. Let me give y'all a minute to get in here. How y'all doing today? We're off to another week. Okay, so what I'm here to talk about today, hi, Princess A. What I'm here to talk about is this other issue that I see. And maybe no one else has talked about it. And people please don't think that I'm a hater because I've always spoken against some of Monique's ways, her antics, which I strongly believe that a lot of her antics are Sydney trying to impress her as he is the greatest manager in the world. And he has failed and failed and failed. So we don't know how much is Monique and how much is Sydney. But she is the voice out front, right? So we're all happy that Monique and I assume that most of us are happy that Monique and Lee Daniels have patched it up. They made it up. He's publicly apologized to her. I believe she apologized to him for whatever her part in that was. They've hugged it out and they have forged this new deal where Lee Daniels was already doing a movie for Netflix. I believe it's called Demon House. It was originally supposed to star Octavia Spencer. She had to bow out because of other contractual obligations she had with, I believe it was Apple TV. Anyway, so she couldn't do both projects, right? So they replaced her with Monique, which I assume, think that's a good thing. They're able to work together. Maybe they can produce something nice. You know, for me, a movie lasts 2 hours and it's over. So, but some people, they are big fans of Monique. Here's the issue. Yes, she had an issue with Lee Daniels. Yes, she told him to suck her dick if she had one. Yes, they fell out and the fallout lasted for 13 years. Yes, they had been friends before that, actual friends, people who socialized together before that. And then I don't know at one point Sydney came along, but he did indeed come along. And this is where it seems to me that Miss Monique started having problems, wanting to sue everybody. Let me see. Teresa Hopkins, hi. Darcia, Dennis, how you doing? Hi, Walsey, Tashana. Hi, moderator, Soul Sister number 1. Soul Sister number 1 show. Cheryl Burnett and Prima Wanda. Good morning, people. Don't hate on me, people. Don't think that, he don't like Monique. That's why he's talking shit about Monique. No, we're just talking about the elephant in the room, honey. There was one issue that Monique had. They were two totally separate issues. Netflix had nothing to do whatsoever with the situation with Lee Daniels or with Precious. That was a totally different situation. She had a whole different situation with Netflix, right? So it looks like they're patched it up with Lee Daniels. But her situation with Netflix is she asked for a boycott of Netflix. She accused them of racial and gender bias, all about the amount of money she was getting paid. And she felt like that if you say that these people, Chris Rock, I think whoever else, Amy Schumer or whatever, Amy Schumer, she wasn't claiming to be a legend, but she was getting legendary coin, right? Anyway, you went through this whole thing. Everybody in Hollywood trying to talk some sense into Monique. She wouldn't accept it. I think that Sydney had a battery in her back because he's the one that all the people who have actually worked with him, they all seem to see Sydney as being the issue. He's never negotiated anything well. He's always penny pinching. He's always trying to get another dollar. And I just watched about apparently a radio show they went on, and then Sydney came back and said he wanted to own the radio show. I mean, on the footage they had shot, even though the radio show had already paid them, and they had filmed them on their show. He tried to come back and claim that Sydney trying to be this big manager in a business he don't know a damn thing about. It's caused her nothing but problems. I don't know if she's scared of him or she's gonna lose him or whatever. but she still continues to stand by her man. Anyway, what was I saying? So her total separate issue was with Netflix. Not only was she going to boycott them, she then was going to sue them. And she says that she is suing them. And as recently as, I believe, a month ago, she was on the T.S. Madison show. I'm pretty sure that's where I saw it. And she was saying that she is still in litigation against Netflix. She's still trying to sue them. So I'm trying to figure out now, the movie, The Demon House, is a movie that Netflix has acquired. Maybe it started somewhere else and then they acquired it. So now Lee Daniels is working with Netflix, right? Which could be very lucrative. We saw with that dude Ryan, what's his name? Ryan Reynolds, I think the one that does all those gay theme movies and stuff. But since he did a deal with them, he's had several projects on there, several successful miniseries on there, right? So it could be a big deal for him. But I don't know how in the hell you are suing me. You're making all these claims against my company, and then you're going to come and work for me? I don't understand it. I don't see how Netflix, after their experience with Monique and her clawing for more and more money, no, we don't know. We can't say that, okay, she's wrong, that they don't underpay people and all that kind of stuff, because everybody has the same complaint. Only different between them and Monique is they keep working. She stops everything, right? So I don't know if she needs to now have a kumbaya with Netflix as well, since she was suing them and attempting to boycott their company and bringing a lot of negative publicity onto Netflix. And now all of a sudden, Netflix is employing her. Now they got to know, Netflix, I don't know if you were sleeping that day. You got to know that getting involved with Monique is going to be an issue for you. My thinking, I don't understand Hollywood, how it works and all that. My thinking is her deal is with him. But since Netflix owns the project, she essentially worked for Netflix, even though they had all this dispute and they didn't want to pay her what she wanted to be paid. And, all the stuff they went through. She is essentially working for them, unless they are separate contracts. One contract between her and Lee Daniels, another totally separate contract between Lee Daniels and Netflix. I don't know that Netflix has people there on the set, right? So I'm not sure how it's going to work, but she caused a mighty, mighty stink with that company. She is, she's, well, whatever. What y'all think? Am I the onlyest one that's thinking along those lines? What the hell's going on here? Okay. First time dropping in your chat. How you doing, M-Town boy? M-Town boy. Oh, for you. M-Town boy for you. How you doing, brother? Prima Wanda. And y'all have any thoughts on this situation? I was watching the thing about the radio show, though. What was the name of the radio show? Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. So let me see. Can I just go to I think I can go to my history and pull up what I was just watching. Okay.
You didn't sue Netflix. I don't think Monique is a who's really going to work with you when they know you're so happy like that? My thing is this: Monique is funny. She's a fun.
There's the question. I just picked it up where I left it off at. But this man had quite a bit to say.
You have someone who is trying to prove that they're valuable. Yeah. By trying to play hardball with people and trying to do these. See, baby, I'm looking out for you. Monique built this shit on her own, bro. Like, you're looking out for her by creating a really bad situation with a fairly sizable media outlet when you didn't have to. You don't do. You don't. With comedy hype, I don't think they don't own Comedy Hype's footage. So like, they really.
So the man is saying that they had done an interview, a very good interview with Netflix. I don't know if he works for Comedy Hype or one of those big media outlets. They had done an interview with Sydney and Monique. Or was it just with Monique? With Monique. Sydney was behind the scenes. And they had done the show. And then after the show, they're supposed to sign this release. And Sydney wouldn't sign the release. And he started nitpicking them for money and also saying that they want ownership of their program. These people had shot the show. It was their studios. It belonged to them. But Sydney wanted to hold out and say, no. We're not going to let you play it. So they never got the thing played. And it was all because of Sydney. Sydney, and we have heard this from time and time again, how he goes in there, he's trying to nitpick every little thing, trying to get more and more money out of people, little money for this. Oh, they didn't say good morning, so I want money for that. And all this kind of shit. Sydney's terrible. He's trying to prove himself. She's trying to prove to him that he is the man of the house, apparently. And she has mixed it all in with her career. I imagine he has played her into believing that they're supposed to be a team. No, Sydney, I've said it probably every video I've ever made about you guys. Sydney, find your own thing to do. Get your value outside of your wife. Can you do that, Sydney? You tried it. You tried it for 13 years. It has not worked. It has not been a good business proposition at all. You have fucked up everything, every opportunity she's had. Now, we've heard Monique talk, and she can speak. It ain't like this is some kind of withering violet or anything like that, right? But every time Sydney gets involved with all his little plans and schemes and talking about how what a wonderful superstar she is and all this shit he brings to the party, it always ends up in a mess. Now, Netflix is going into this with these people, knowing that Sydney's going to try to sue them, knowing that she's going to be demanding more money, but they're going to take it on. So are we to assume then that she's going to have to drop her lawsuit against Netflix? Although I'm sure that's like toilet paper to them. They don't give a damn. They just want to don't get back online now, running your mouth about Netflix again, calling us all kind of bigots, girl, and we're misogynists and we're all this horrible shit, right? Does that mean that they have to squash the situation not only between her and Lee Daniels, but between her and Netflix? Is she going to have to sign contracts, non-disclosures about her interactions with Netflix? I would think so. You didn't stretch that out for 5 or 6 years, Miss Monique. But you're still in litigation and all that kind of stuff. You've been talking shit about that company for 5 years, right? It seems like everything you as a couple touch turns to shit. Now we have to also acknowledge that Monique had a career before him. She had already built the career. She was already a star before he came along, right? They say he knew her in high school and they got together later. He just biding his time. Whatever. Am I right or am I wrong, people? Is that an issue? Are they going to have to come to some agreement between Netflix and Monique? Are they going to have to shut her up contractually where she cannot be talking? Because whatever she seems to get involved in, she's going to then run it into the ground after she's finished with it, right? There's certainly that possibility. Correct? Now, there are other big stars, Glenn Close is one of them, involved in this project about these demons. Maybe the casting is wrong. Maybe we should have cast her we should have cast Sydney as the demon. Sydney, I don't know how many people, how many thousands of people have had to ask you, could you please step away? Allow that woman to work. We don't need none of your plans and none of your ideas. We don't need your penny pension. We don't need all the input from Sydney. And it may be that he is the one that was pushing her about how much money she got and how much she would. Because remember, when she decided she didn't want to go promote that movie, it was because she wanted to stay home with her kids and her husband. So then they came up with, I remember the situation very clearly. He came up with saying, "Oh, is there a number with that?" Now that's right out of the mouth of Sydney. That's Sydney's language. Is there a number with that, right? So you want to spend time with the family and all that, but if you give me X amount of money, then I'll come to Cannes and promote this movie. Even though nobody else in Hollywood is getting paid like that, girl. They're trying to promote you getting an Oscar. You're the one that's going to benefit from it more than even the movie. I mean, Pressure was a good movie, but it's a movie. You know, it lasts 90 minutes, an hour or whatever. Your career could have been positively affected by winning the Oscar, but you didn't want to do it. And I think as an actress, there's a good chance that Sidney had his feet in that as well. I don't know. These are just my ideas. Yes, he did come along. Okay. Someday he came along, the man she loved, and he was big and strong. So she thought, the man she loved. Keep your personal life and your business or your career or your show business life separate, Monique. I mean, I don't know how many other people got to tell you that. I don't know if he locked you in a closet or what the hell he kind of hold he has on you. Because frankly, baby, you could have did a lot better. I mean, I'm sorry. Maybe I don't see it the way you see it. But Sydney, you doing all this for Sydney? Whatever. I'm interested to see what the deal is between her and Netflix. Let me see. Y'all got an opinion on all of this? She's a problem too? Okay. She had an ex to grind, but Monique hasn't been wrong yet. She hasn't been wrong yet. She just had issues with some of the biggest people. She hasn't been wrong yet? Oh, I don't agree with that. Hey. Nobody cares about no doggy opinion, okay? Can you speak in silence? Do we have to go to another trip? My doggy face. Okay. So M-Town boy for you. You think that he hasn't been wrong yet. She ain't worked in 13 years. How's she been right about anything? She been wrong about everything. Every actress in Hollywood knows that they're paid less than men. Every black actress knows they're paying less than black men and white men. And basically, I mean, the disparage. Don't get me to try to say these words. Disparage in income or whatever that word is. I mean, it's a fact. Point is, are you going to play the game or not? I mean, that's what Lee Daniels initially said. She didn't play the game. Well, you're going to play the game. You got to make a choice, honey. Who is pushing the issue about how much you're getting paid? If she had been working all this time, Miss Monique would be paid with the best of them. Excuse me. I have to tend to my child. Come on, let's go. Get the bum up. I'll be right back, people. Hold on 1 minute. My baby want to be here with me so bad, but he just can't help himself. Barking is his nature. Okay. Now, you know I done lost my chain of thought now, so let's go see what are y'all saying. Okay. I respect her saying no to Oprah because there was an issue before Precious. All the issue with the family, with Oprah Winfrey. People, if this woman is going to have issues with Oprah Winfrey, she's going to have issues with Tyler Perry. She's going to have issues with Lee Daniels. I assume she had issues with BET. If she got issues with everything she touched, either her or her husband, why would Netflix then think it's going to be a good idea to employ Monique? Why do it to yourself? Do it, yeah. Nice and easy. Oh, excuse me. Why do it to yourself? I'm thinking that the only thing that, what I'm thinking is, my mind's thinking as a novice, somebody don't know about show business. I would probably bet that her contract is with Lee Daniels. She does not still have a contract with Netflix, even though it's going to be broadcast by Netflix, even though Netflix owns the project. More than likely, they were not going to get in negotiation with Monique after the way she's carried on for the last many years. They remember now, they had made her offers. They are well aware of who Monique is, right? So perhaps they are forced to deal with it because they're just basically taking on the project. Lee Daniels is totally in charge of it. That's the only way I can see it happening. Mm-hmm. What did Miss Aquarius say? You agree with her? Where Miss Aquarius? Monique has the qualifications to have asked for more money for. Well, girl, everybody got. When you're on your job, and you know you've been doing a good job for that company, and you know you've been in that job for 25 years, and then you got some fool straight out of college, barely 20 years old, come in there, and you find out that person is making more money than you. You've been on the job 25 years. You are highly qualified in your job, right? Of course you should have more money, right? Of course that we all want more money. Everybody wants more money, honey. But are you going to stop the production and bitch about it for 13 years? And be unemployed basically for 13 years? And have your properties even put up for near foreclosure for your idea? And whose idea is it really? Mm-hmm. But because of her situation, Netflix tried to screw her. Netflix tried to screw. Girl, let me go on stage for an hour and a half, child, and get what do they offer her? $100,000 or some shit like that? $250,000, $250,000 for you to go on stage for a couple hours, girl, please. She's going some damn way with that bullshit. Don't be talking to us about it, Miss Monique. Most of us work for well less than $100,000, child. And me considerably less than that. We don't hear about your Hollywood problems, honey. Work that out with your agent, your attorneys, and the company you're working for, girl. Y'all got to boycott. Y'all got to boycott Netflix. Cancel your Netflix. Girl, I can barely afford to pay Netflix, girl. That's a great deal for me. $9.99 for a month of service, child. I got to cancel that for so you can get another $250,000 for a 2-hour show. Whatever, girl. They're back in business. I tried to go online to Google and find out what the situation was between, but so far, Netflix has not spoken about the situation between her and them. They've only spoken about the situation between the Lee Daniels project, the Demon House, but nothing about them. So perhaps Monique just works for Lee Daniels. But he's the director. Is that... I assume that he would have to also work with the producers, or are the producers just Netflix? Producers many times are just people who put up the money. That's why she didn't like Oprah. She didn't like Tyler Perry on that particular deal, because all they did was put up money. They had nothing to do with the project. She'd worked for Lee Daniels then, right? But you see how she turned on all three of them. She invited them all collectively to suck her parts if she had some. Mm-hmm. I look cute today. West Hollywood hustler boy. How West Hollywood hustler boy? I used to live there. I lived on San Vicente. I lived on West Knoll. I lived on La Beg. I lived on Gower Street. I was all over West Hollywood and Hollywood, honey, for years. Mm-hmm. So apparently y'all don't have no strong opinion on this stuff. This is just this first thing came to my mind, though. I said, wait a minute. Didn't she just say on T.S. Madison Now, they're saying that it was 50 Cent who brokered all this deal between them, right? As far as I know I saw her on T.S. Madison show very recently, but within the last month. And T.S. Madison is saying that she is the one who initiate their reconciliation, because she had already, not only did she do the interview with Monique, but she also did another interview for this show that's coming up on Fox Soul. I believe it's her second season with Fox Soul. And she actually interviewed Lee Daniels. And on her show, which hasn't been released yet, Lee Daniels said that he was going to fix that situation or do something about it. Now, we don't even know that Octavia Spencer had even bowed out of that other deal yet. We don't know, but he was already committed to doing something about it. Right? So we don't know if it was 50 Cent or maybe it's both of them. Maybe just people decided, Monique is not getting any younger. She's suffered enough. And now let's just try to get her working again. Right? Let's try that. Monique, don't let that African American gentleman mess you up again. Why don't you just invite him to stay out of it? We tried it 13 years. We accomplished nothing. Right? Now he gonna still be in her ear because she has to sleep with him and all that kind of stuff and live with him and raise kids in the household together, right? But plenty of people are able to have their career separate from their husband. You trying to put him someplace that he don't belong, honey. If it don't fit, don't force it. Just relax and let him go. He can find something else if he want it to be so. If it don't fit, excuse me, I do tend to get sidetracked. Mm-hmm. All of them, all the people who work with them, all seem to agree they don't want to have nothing to do with Sydney. You done hung this manager's suit on him, and it is not a good fit, Monique. I don't know how many other people have to say the same thing. 50 Cent started by supporting her in public and suggestion they stop the boycott against her. Stop the boycott? Okay. T.S. Madison put Monique and Lee Daniels back together by a conversation. I believe his mom needs time too. What happened? His mom? You broke off there, Mr. Aquarius. Okay, so 50 Cent. Let's hope that they didn't go strong on him. You remember how that dude, Dane Daniels, or Dane, what's his name? Dane something, the record producer, checked Lee Daniels, had him kick that $4 million out of his ass, right? So I hope that 50 Cent gonna go strong on him, bro. Apologize, motherfucker. You gonna make a movie, nigga. Let's hope it wasn't that kind of motivation, child. I hope, okay, Tim, I hope Monique doesn't show her behind on the set of the movie. Oh, please don't do that, Monique. Don't embarrass us, girl. Right? You would really be through then. If they gave you another chance and child, you wouldn't fucked it up again. They will get some publicity out of this thing just because, whatever publicity, as long as people are talking about it, right? Because before this morning, I didn't know what Demon House was. Now I know what it is. So it does bring publicity to the project, right? But I know Glenn Close was one of the stars in the thing, and there were several other Black actresses who were already involved in this project. So I don't know if she's coming in the starring role or is it a supporting role. Just don't mess it up, Monique. I hope you have that much sense, girl. Back away from Sydney. When you Sydney curl up in the bed, baby, I won't talk about it. No, Sydney. I don't want to talk about the deal. We're already in production. Just let me do the production, right? That's what you got to do. You got to focus in on what's in front of you. I want to give the best performance I'm capable of. I'm not a businesswoman. We've hired a very good attorney, entertainment attorney, and let him work that out. Because when we signed the contracts, that was your opportunity to speak, Sydney. is done. We ain't changing nothing. We're not asking for not a single dollar more. It is a done deal. I've signed off for it. Now let me concentrate on my lines, please. Maybe you should sleep on the couch tonight, Sydney. You're very talkative. I believe it's time for Monique to come back with different management. Absolutely. Let her husband be her husband, and our manager control her manager control her career. Absolutely. It is the simplest solution. Everyone has said it. Even on The View, this was the same thing everyone's all saying, girl. It's all the same thing, child. Stop trying to make that motherfucker be in show business. No matter what his hopes and dreams are. Maybe he got the wrong dream. You had every opportunity to prove your worth, and you're invaluable, Sydney. You just messed stuff up. Trying to prove yourself. Tried too hard, you blew it. Tim, read my comments. Thank you. Okay. I think I just did. Started by supporting her in public. Yeah, we can accept that. 50 Cent started. Apparently, 50 Cent was at one of her shows. My eyes. I messed up. That Gamage Carter, he made peach cobbler yesterday. And I said, well, let me have that for breakfast. I couldn't resist taking home the leftovers, of course. I had peach cobbler for breakfast. Then I got a headache. So that's the sugar. Because he had a whole lot of sugar in it, baby. Okay. Let me see. She's suing Netflix because they're racist. Well, she's suing Netflix because they're racist. She better stop suing them if she's going to get a paycheck from them, child. Right? So they might have to, I'm sure they're going to have to come up to some understanding about her mouth. Now, she may just be under contract with Lee Daniels and the production, and then he's in contract with Netflix, but they still don't want her out there running their mouth about suing them, about how they are racist and how they are, what else she say the word, misogynist, and men make more than women. But that's the conversation all over the damn country. I don't know what the hell was to be so remarkable about that. The whole country's having that same argument, has been for years. And a lot of the people who have worked with them, even though on this latest movie she did, one semi-successful movie she did about this vacation thing, them people said, never again, never, ever again we will work with Sydney. He was constantly in our face, constantly asking for more money. You already made the deal, man. Let it go. I think you better let it go. Let it go, baby. Let it go, boy. Think about another career. TKO. Yeah. Oh. Don't destroy that woman, Sydney. Go and sit down somewhere. She ain't got to be hugging all over you. And tell her, baby, listen here, baby, sweetheart, my wife, I married you. You don't got to call me daddy anymore. Let's stop doing that in public, okay? When we down in between the sheets, then you call me daddy if you want to, girl. Don't be on television calling me daddy no more. It's not a good look for you or for me. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't even appear with him anymore. Sydney just go on about his business. They maybe their career gets going there, make some more money. They can do other things. Sydney could be focusing in on, okay, this is my one dream. I think his original dream was to be an actor himself, though, because didn't they meet on the set or re-meet on the set of Monique's show? Or either she hired him because she knew him from high school or some kind of way he was on that show. So he already had his own career plans. He got sidetracked by marrying this woman and made her career his career. Now, maybe we need to rethink that, Sydney, and get back to what is the core of, because neither one of you getting any younger, honey. What else would I be interested in besides my wife's career? Can I do anything else? Are there up-and-coming artists that maybe I could try to practice my chops on them and see if I can do something for them before I jump into the big leagues? Yes, that pillow talk can be something else. That pillow talk can be something else, but Sydney, you got to go. I don't give a damn how good you is in the bedroom. Keep it in the bedroom. Sorry, Mr. Tim, I disagree. I respect her relationship with her husband. He held her down for better or worse. M-Town, she already had a career before she took on this husband, child. She had made her successes without her husband. When her husband came along, that's when the career, the opportunities ceased. We don't even know how much he was involved in the situation with the Precious deal. Was that her decision to stay home, or was it his? Because it sounds like, is there a number with that? That sounds just like Sydney. You can't make the argument that it ain't about the money when you say you'll go for the money. That's the danger. That's the danger. These people ain't never had no money. And I mean, in all honesty, he's trying to prove himself that he can do something for her. And he is just not successful. No matter how much Monique come on here talking about, he's raising me, damn it. He's raising me. He teaching me. She said, he teaching me, God damn it. You are a grown-ass woman who's been in show business for over 30 years. You don't need Sydney to be teaching you shit. They have professionals to handle careers, honey, to get maximum dollar. You already talking about Amy Schumer's, her people went back to them people and said, no, we think $11 million is not enough. And they were able to negotiate another $2 million, bringing her price to $13 million. Now, what did Sydney do that? When Sydney goes in there, they say, no, we're not giving you another dime. And you can leave. This is the effect he has on people. Either you got it or you don't. If you don't have the power of negotiation, child, he can't do nothing for nobody, honey. We ain't got to agree on everything, brother. Where you go? He went away? We don't have to agree on everything, M-Town. Mm-hmm. Y'all can agree with Miss Monique. Maybe she can be sitting down for another 13 years. Y'all gonna have a woman on food stamp. Stand up for your rights. Your rights. Your rights are more significant than she called Whoopi Goldberg the help. You should want to have Whoopi Goldberg's career, Monique. Free game. Mm-hmm. Hi, Charles Dawson. How you doing, brother? Good to see you. I is Hispanic, says the beer review. Oh, you drinking beer this morning? You is Hispanic. Well, we happy that you're Hispanic, brother. We celebrate the diversity of God. Mm-hmm. Okay, Soul Sister number one show. Soul Sister number one show said, I work with a lot of racist people, but I work that thing so I can retire the way I want to. You got to go do the work. You got to deal with these people. Hold on to your prejudice. Really, it's only defeating yourself, honey. You got to function in this world that we have. You got to use what you got to get what you want, honey. Right? Everything ain't gonna be perfect. Everybody wants more money. Everybody I ever met, shit. And maybe a lot of them deserve a whole lot more money than they get. But that don't mean they're gonna sit on their ass and not work. Their kids still gotta eat. The baby still need a new pair of shoes. You know what I'm saying? You still gotta pay them bills. That's right. I can retire the way I want to. I can relax. I did mine. Where in the box office? Queen Enchanted says, Zion, what does Zion say? Let me see. Zion said, Blackbird was 214. Bessie was 215. Almost Christmas 26. So she's doing what, a movie every 3 years? Okay. And she had a comedy tour in 219. Zion. Okay. And then somebody replied to that and said, name her movies from 2012 to 2020. She even said herself that she's blackballed. These are not our words. These are her words and not ours. Monique said the one she's been barely employed. That ain't nothing. You know, some of these people, what's that? Bruce Willis, he has to retire now because health reasons. But what's he got? Over 100 movies? You trying to hold up 4 movies, girl, in 13 years? The point is to work, right? The more successful you are when you work in show business, the more money you are able to demand. Monique is trying to demand money from Netflix based on the fact that they slipped and said that she was a legend. Whether that's true or not, they just giving her a compliment. They had no idea. Chris Rock a legend? And you said, I'm a legend? So should we get the same thing? That's her argument, girl. And everybody I ever saw talk to this about this thing, if all had the same opinion, girl, they're paying you based on how much money they can make. This is not a charity for actors and actresses, Sonny. Right? They're not going to pay you $10 million if they can't get $10 million out of you. Right? You're doing Vegas and medium-sized rooms, and Amy Schumer is packing out Carnegie Hall twice. She's got a successful movie right now. What are you making now, girl? What is your current audience? We don't care anything about no past awards. We don't care what you did in Columbus back in the 60s, 70s. You ain't got to give us everything that's what Sydney's approach is. Oh, she did this. Oh, she did that. Oh, therefore we should give her all this money. No, honey, that ain't it. You're not applying at Chrysler. You're applying with Netflix, and they're in the business of making money, right? They calculate what you're worth. And that was the offer was. What your job was to do is say, no, I won't accept that. So the answer is no. You move on. You don't try to pick the whole company now because you don't like their deal. If you don't like their deal, don't take it. You're going to be the activists for the actors and actresses. Aren't there academies and Screen Actors Guilds and things like that fighting for those rights, girl? I don't know. Like Whitney Williams' ex, right? Yep, he got rich off her back. I don't know about these men getting rich off their wives' back, Sonny. I don't know. I guess sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Mary J. Blige is one hot mama. Didn't she have a similar issue with these husbands trying to run things? Trying to run you, turning you into a commodity. I second that emotion. Oh, if you feel like giving me a lifetime of devotion, I second that emotion. That's for you, Eric the Midget. Mm-hmm. Second that. Who was that? Smokey Robinson. Viola Davis was on her side and said they don't pay her what she is worth too. Yeah, but Viola Davis did it a totally different way, honey. And Viola Davis never stopped working. She can voice things. A lot of them, and not only just black women in general have had this issue, and not only in show business, right? In all business. Why should I do the same job you do, and many times do the job better than you, and then you make more money than me because you're a male, you're a man. You got to come support a family, even if the nigga is the person is a bachelor. Simply because he's a man, he gets more money. It is wrong. We all know that it is wrong. It is wrong for you to pay a white person more than you pay a black person if they are bringing in the same numbers. If people are watching them just as much, they should be getting the same thing. We all know that, honey. But are you going to stop working because of that and just ring them out for 13 years? To know, I mean, you ain't changed nothing. Nothing has changed because of you, right? Anyway, I feel like I'm repeating because we've addressed this Monique situation many times. I mean, I've been on here 5 years, girl. I've been on here 5 years. Every time she pick her head up again, it's bitching and complaining about something. That's all my experience with Monique was. I didn't like the television show. I just thought she was too loud, overbearing. But you know, everything is not for everybody. She has a big following. Nobody's denying that. In her movies, she's been very funny. I think she's a talented woman. I think it is a wasted opportunity, wasted gifts. You know, I'm sure there's hundreds of actresses would love to be in the position that you were in, Monique, and you fucked it off. You know, whether you fucked it off because your husband was in your ear or just because of your own arrogance. You know, you made a lot of bad decisions. And then now you have an opportunity to move forward. If Netflix see that you can actually affect the outcome of a movie, maybe they'll patch it up with you as well. We don't know. But for me, like that man just said on that clip, oh man, I just went in the middle of the clip too, but he said something very important. Hold on.
Monique built this shit on her own, bro. Like, you looking out for her by creating a really bad situation with a fairly sizable media outlet when you didn't have to. You don't with Comedy Hype. I don't think they don't own Comedy Hype's footage. So like, they really tried to like debo my intellectual property. Wow. And I was just not going to do it. So, and it was her husband. And when he go, well, just talk to my lawyer. Just we're going to let him handle it. And I'm like, you know what? So I'm like, yo, fuck all that. Like, I don't know what her husband is, where he's from. Because he just came on the scene like not that long ago, or has she been with him? They knew. We talked about it. They were like,
okay, so you see, it's the same conversation with everybody who's ever worked with them. They always seem to focus in on Sydney. Tyler Perry told her recently, "I will talk to you. We will have conversations as long." But the stipulation is, first, I want you to apologize because I really didn't deserve this. And then the other thing is, I don't want to have nothing to do with Sydney. Don't bring your husband. She balked at that. He's in her ear, you know. Maybe he just make her feel just fishy. Ooh, baby, what you say, daddy? Where did that daddy shit come from, girl? You're gonna have a lot of if y'all ever do break up, you're gonna have a lot of regrets, Monique. You let this man dominate you that way. Of course, discrimination is going on. There are people in this chat right now who can give testimony, honey. The fuck, you got some idiot on here making, 30, 40% more money than I am. I'm doing his job and my job. Hell no, it ain't fair. Oh, God. All right, they're testing the system. I got to go, people. I got to go. They're testing my fire alarm. I forgot all about it. Later, people. Have a good day.